Now, and I will give you a heads up here in a second. You are live.
Hi. I'm hoping that people will start tuning in to
Yeah, you've
watch.
got you've got a lot of people in there right now.
My name is Ashley. I am the owner of Made by Real Witch. We're doing a paranormal live tonight in Alberta. I'm partnered up with Willoughby Productions. I'm in the basement of a very old building. Um, this building here is in I want to say central Alberta, but it's more eastern Alberta. And about a year ago, I was here in a small town called Manville, Alberta, and we were looking into checking out a building and an old story about some murders that took place. It was a mass murder in 1928. Some of you might remember it. I did a live at that time, and it was called the Boer murders. And they happened on July 9th, 1928. Two members of the family were killed by rifle blast that day in their home. Two farmhands were killed, and the son that was survived was convicted and executed for murder. They hung him. He went to Fort Saskatchewan, um, and he was hung for that crime. I'm not convinced that he did it. There's a lot of speculation and a lot of controversy over what may have happened. Evidence was, um, I want to say there's just things that have been said by locals and in books that don't really add up. And I'm just not convinced that Vernon Boer committed these murders. So we're kind of here to find some answers this week. We're here tonight in the area. This building here would have been where the jail was in Manville in 1928, where Vernon was held before he went to trial. And I can hear that I'm in the basement and I'm here by myself in the dark. And Vernon would have been held here until he went to trial. And the first part of his trial actually took place in the old Orange Hall in Manville. And then it finished off in Fort Saskatchewan, and he was convicted and went to prison in Fort Saskatchewan. And that's where he was executed by hanging and buried. And I think he was 21, I think, at the time of the murders. And by the time he was hung, it was 2 days after his 22nd birthday. So very young. And he lost his, and that bell is just going crazy. He lost his older brother, Fred, and his mother, Eunice, that day, and his two friends that were farmhands as well. So we're here in this old building, and we're covering 2 floors. So we've got equipment, paranormal equipment set up. There's some in this room over here, and I'm not sure how well you guys can see me, but I've got a REM pod and things over here. I've got equipment here. I'm going to do a session with the Geoport. Over here to my left, we have some sensor balls, and we've got a dead bell, which is going off, and we've got EMF meters. And upstairs, we've got some equipment upstairs as well. Now, interesting enough, local historian Mike Mihovich, who I met a year ago through Vicky and Les Marshall, he said that he was speaking with some locals, and that the old jail, they're saying it wasn't in the basement. It wasn't a part of the basement. Where Vernon would have been held would have been in the back of the main floor. At the back of the main floor is where the jail was. So we're not exactly sure where the jail was in this building, whether it was in the basement like was originally thought, or if it's on the main floor. So I'm going to spend a little time in both areas to see where we get the most activity. Now, while we were setting up, we had flashlights going off, we had the bell going off in the other room, we had sensor balls lighting up, we had the REM pod going, the tripwire was going, we had lots and lots of activity, lots of flashlights going off and that sort of thing. So we'll see what happens now that we're actually doing the live, and if spirit want to interact with us. So that's what we're doing. That's why we're here. We've got a command center upstairs with Natalie, Connor, and Chris are kind of, looking after the technology side of things. I'm down here with spirit. I'm going to be down here for a little while. We'll see what happens with activity down here. I've got a few different things I'd like to try to see if spirit might want to interact with me for you guys. And once I feel like we've got everything kind of finished up down here, I'll move upstairs and we'll continue the investigation upstairs. But for right now, we're down here. I'm in the. We'll just see what happens. All right. So one thing that I brought with me today is I brought what I figured would have possibly been prison food, like what a prisoner might have been fed back in 1928. So I've got a can of baked beans, and I'm going to open them. This particular brand, I think it's 1908 they started making these. So these actually would have been around in 1928. And I've got a very old tin can opener here. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to set it up next to the REM pod as a bit of a trigger object. Anyone dare me to actually eat some cold beans out of the can? Aren't you glad you tuned in to see this? I can't get the lid out of it now. Well. There we go. I will have to clean that up. All right, and I'm going to move this out of the way. So I've also got, just so you guys know, I've got some flashlights set up here. I've got some sensor lights in here. I've got an EMF meter that can potentially go off. It'll light up. Things going on. And over here, if you can see me, this is, there goes my REM pod. So you guys can see that. So I've got the bean sitting next to it as a trigger object. Looks like it's working. I've got an old pillow here on the floor that I thought maybe I will do, maybe I'll sit for a bit, but let's just get started and see. Oops, I just about stepped in that. We'll see if anyone is down here and would like to communicate. So if there is anyone here from the spirit realm who would like to communicate with us tonight, can you please give us a sign that you're here? And I know that you are. We've had a lot of activity tonight. So you can light up the REM pod that's over here. You can light up the EMF meter. I've got flashlights you can turn on. There's sensor balls, the bell in the next room. Flashlight there. So if there is anyone around from the spirit realm who would like to communicate, can you just let us know that you're here? Can you go up to one of these devices and light them up or turn them on? It's interesting. Because everything was, oh, there goes the bell. There goes the bell. Okay. All right. Well, I'll take that as a good sign. All right. How about if we start with the geoport? Let's see. Let's see what we got here. You want me to start with the geoport? All right. So, whoops, I've got a couple of different lists of questions that I've got ready to ask. I may have to adjust this a little bit. Can somebody speak to me through the geoport just so I can hear if I need to adjust the... Hello? Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with me? Is there anyone here from the spirit realm who would like to communicate with me tonight? My name is Ashley. I mean no harm. I just want to have a conversation. In particular, I would like to speak with Vernon Boer. Vernon, are you able to come through and speak with me? Vernon, if you can hear me, I'm not convinced that you were guilty of these crimes. And I would like to help clear your name. Would you like to speak with me? What about Mr. Holt? There was I believe it was one of the guards here at the jail, was a Holt. Is he here? Would he like to communicate? Or anyone who has knowledge of the Boer murders and what happened on their farmland on July 9th, 1928. Is there anyone connected to that who would like to speak with me? We're looking to uncover the truth. There are a lot of rumors. Is there anyone here? Can you tell me your name? Is there anyone here who would have known anything about the murders that happened on the Boer farm? Fred Boer, if you're here, is Fred Boer here? I would like to talk to Fred. Yes? I clearly heard a yes. Fred, can you give us some kind of a sign that you're here? Can you touch one of the objects in the... Okay, that was me. Fred, you've made your presence known. Caught me off guard. Sensor ball is lighting up. Fred, I know that there was a struggle in your house that day. Yes, I've been to the property. I believe you were there with me. I believe I channeled you. I want to know who did this. You saw them. You looked them in the eye. Who committed the murders? Fred Boer, I heard you come through the geoport. You were faint, but you were there. You touched my shoulder. I know you're here. Can you tell me who shot you and your mother on July 9th, 1928? Fred, are you still with me? Who was with me? Who's the female? I just heard a female. Okay. Who is here with me right now? Is this one of Vernon and Fred's sisters, Dorothy or Agatha? If you're able to come and speak to me through this box, who is here in the room with me? Who's the female? I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not here to hurt anyone. We want to help clear Vernon's name because we're not convinced that Vernon committed these crimes. We're looking to help you. We're looking to help your family. Fred, are you here? Fred Boer, are you still here? I would like to speak to any member of the Boer family. Okay, there's a male in here with me right now. Can you identify yourself? Speak through this box. The man with the sad eyes. What is your name? Is this Henry Boer? I can feel you. It's like you're here. Henry Boer, are you here? Yes, I got a yes. Any members of the Boer family, I would love to hear from you. We're not here to cause harm in any way. We're looking to help your family. We're looking to bring justice to this situation because we don't believe that the evidence was handled fairly or the case. I can feel there's somebody here. Would you like to step forward? Ashley. I know the bell keeps going off in this room over here, but I feel somebody, and it's a man. Who is here with me? Who's in this room with me? Can you repeat that? I'm having a really hard time hearing you. You're very faint in the background. Is there a way for you to speak up? Who is here in this basement with me right now? Can you tell me your name? I can hear them, but they're very faint in the background. It just sounds like they're far away. What is your name? Can you tell me your name? How many spirit are here in the room with me right now? 11? How many spirit are here in the room with me right now? Okay, I just had the sensation that I was completely blind in my left eye. I'm going to try this. I'm going to see if this helps so that I can hear spirit more easily. I'm going to take away my eyesight. Who is here in the basement with me right now? Can you tell me your name? Can you repeat that? Can you tell me your name? Oh. Okay, something just touched me here on the top of my head. That was a little freaky. I'm not getting a lot through here. I'm just going to turn that off for now. We'll try it again in a bit. So something's touched me here. Someone's definitely touched me here, but they're having a really, usually the geoport, they can come through very loud and clear. It's like they're way off in the distance, almost like they're struggling to get here to be able to speak. So, yeah, I'm not sure what to do with that. Let's try the dead bell. They seem to like the bell that I have in the next room over. So let's see if we can get some communication going through that. If there's anybody down here with me right now who would like to communicate, can you set that bell off in the next room? Okay. Are you a male? Once for yes, twice for no. Can you ring that bell? Once for yes, twice for no. Are you a male? Or were you a male, a man in life? I've got all kinds of flashlights and sensors here. We had a lot of activity while I was setting up, and it just seems like it's really quiet now that we've started. Can you get that bell to ding if you would like to communicate? All right, let's try this. I'm holding a device in my hand. It's this little black box. If there's somebody here in the room with me, can you come and touch this box and light it up if you'd like to communicate? We're not here to cause any kind of harm. We're not here to open old wounds and re-traumatize anyone. We're here because we believe that Vernon Boer the evidence just wasn't handled well. We're not convinced that he committed the crimes that he was found guilty of in 1928. And we would just like to know who committed these crimes. And I know that Fred Boer would know, because Eunice was killed first. Somebody came into her home. She was sitting at a table facing away from the door. She was hulling some strawberries, and she was shot from behind. So she very likely didn't even see that coming, didn't know who it was. Her son Fred came into the house, very likely heard the shot and came running in to see what happened. And he was shot a couple of times. But I'm shown that there was a struggle over the gun, and he would have looked his killer in the eye. He would have been looking right in their face. And so Fred is actually the one I've been trying to connect with recently. And, we went to the cemetery and saw where he was laid to rest, and we've been out to the original property where their home was, and Fred was the one that actually owned the land. His family, his siblings, and his parents were living with him at the time. They owned other land, but they were all living in this house at the time. I think the plan was to branch out in time, but Eunice was killed first. Fred came into the house. He lost his life next. And then there were two farmhands that lost their lives very shortly after. One was in the barn, I believe, and he was shot from behind. And the other one was in the bunkhouse. So they had a separate little bunkhouse where these farmhands would sleep at night. And the other farmhand was over in that bunkhouse, and he was found in there. So 4 people lost their lives that day. I have questions. You know, I want to know who did it, and I want to know if they acted alone. That's a question that keeps coming up for me, whether it was one person or more than one person. I'm not convinced that Vernon had anything to do with it. I think Vernon was in shock. A lot of people said, well, he wasn't overly emotional when these murders happened and he lost his family members, but not everybody, people grieve in different ways, and I'm not convinced that. I think he was in shock. I think he was in shock, and just his emotions shut down is kind of what I think happened. I think he had a mental breakdown in jail because nobody believed him. Nobody believed that, and he didn't have a lawyer. He was representing himself, and he was just a kid. I mean, legally he was an adult, but he was, in my mind, he was just a child. I think he was 21 or around 21 when this happened. And he was it was 2 days after his 22nd birthday when he was executed for this crime. And I just don't think it was right or fair. And so I would like to speak to Fred Boer more than anyone, because Fred looked his killer in the eye. I'm not sure that any of the other people who were murdered that day actually saw who did it. 2 of them were shot from behind. There's kind of question about the other farmhand that was in the bunkhouse and whether or not he would have seen the killer. But Fred, there was a struggle. Fred looked this person right in the eye, like they were face to face when he was shot. And that's who I want to hear from. That's who I'm looking to connect with while I'm here. We're doing some investigation over the next few days. So we're here tonight, and we're doing a live right now, and we're going to, once the live is over, we're going to continue our own investigation without the live audience and all of that. We're just going to do our own investigating and record it. And then we have different areas and different places that we'll be going to in the next few days to see. And that's the person I really want to connect with. I want to connect with Fred Boer. I would like to know who did this. And somebody's coming downstairs. Hello?
Ashley,
Yes.
I just noticed something on the camera, and I'm not sure if you're aware.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
One of your lights that was, I don't know where the camera's looking here.
In here?
In here.
Yeah?
There was
Careful, don't step on this. Don't.
There's a bunch of red lights that were shining up here.
Yeah.
They're not up there anymore.
Okay, it maybe just lost its charge.
Okay. Just not sure if that was activity or not.
In that bean sauce.
But yeah, no,
I'll give you that to take upstairs to Chris and have him charge it.
you're getting a lot of activity too.
Oh, is there lots of activity? So this okay, come on. Come in here, Connor. So this is my son-in-law, Connor. Say hi, Connor.
Hi.
Connor is out here from the East Coast. He lives in Halifax. This is my daughter Natalie's fiance. They're not married yet, but we all know it's just a matter of time. And Connor is our tech person.
Yeah.
What is your title? You have a title. What is the title? Production something?
Production manager.
Production manager. So Connor is the production manager of Willoughby Productions.
Yeah.
And he's giving us a hand today. And Connor he's just fantastic with electronics. I am not a technology person. So Connor is great, and he's running around here. And my husband, Chris, helps out with a lot of these cables and batteries and things. So these guys are kind of behind the scenes. But so he's going to go and recharge this grid light. But yeah, we're getting activity, and this is interesting.
Yeah.
But that's who I stepped in that. I'm going to have to wash my socks tonight. So that's I'll let you go and do your thing, and I'll just get back to it. Where are we at for time? Do you know?
I think it's been active for 20 minutes, maybe.
20 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got lots of time.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
If there's anything else, though, I'll let you know.
Pardon me? Oh, okay. So we're about 45 minutes in. Okay. Well, I'll stay down here for a little bit more, and then maybe I'll take if you're getting lots of activity upstairs, I'll come up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So back to the live. So that was Connor, and Connor's great, and we've actually gone out and done some paranormal investigating in some different locations in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Halifax, Nova Scotia is very haunted. I love it out there, actually. So Connor was nice enough to take me out and take me to some old historical areas in that, and we've done some paranormal investigating out there too. So really cool when we can get together and do these things. And now that my daughter Natalie has this Willoughby Productions, you know, we've got cameras all over the place, and it just takes paranormal investigating to another level. So this is our first time of doing a live this way. We're new to YouTube, and we have all these different cameras on different floors. We're obviously getting activity, which is nice. But that's my thing. I want to talk to, if he's willing to talk to me, and I think he is, Fred Boer, because Fred was 25 when he was gunned down. Yep, 25 on July 9th, 1928. And he was the oldest of the 4 Boer children. So there was Fred, there was, I don't know the order like that they were born, but there were 2 sons. Fred was the oldest, Vernon was the youngest, and there were 2 daughters that were Dorothy, and I think her name was Algertha. And the parents were, okay, I think I got that right. The parents were Henry Boer and Eunice Boer were the parents. And Henry Boer was not at home when these murders happened. The family actually, where the homestead was on the land, was owned by Fred Boer at the time, so the oldest son. But Henry Boer actually owned land close by. I think it was about 6 kilometers away or something like that. He owned a parcel of land, and I think the plan was that they were going to build a house on that land eventually. But he was off doing his thing. He was farming that land on the day of the murder, so he wasn't there. And it was Vernon Boer, the other son, so Fred's younger brother, who came in to the house and discovered his mother and his brother. He took off in a panic, went over to one of the neighbor properties they had a telephone, which not everybody had a telephone in 1928. So he went to, I believe it was the Ross acreage, and used their phone to call the police. And then it kind of all took off from there. People got involved and that sort of thing. But nobody seemed to believe Vernon that he didn't do it. And there's a lot of speculation. It's a strange story. I've read a couple of books on it about a year ago that were lent to me by Mike. And there's just some strange circumstances with this. So the area where the rifle that supposedly committed these crimes was found was searched extensively. Like the locals all got together and searched for the rifle. And there was nothing in this area where it was eventually found. But there was I want to say a psychic. He was a hypnotist who came forward and said he knew that where the rifle was and all this stuff. And he came out there and led police to this rifle, and that area was very thoroughly searched. And so there's a lot of controversy over whether or not that evidence was planted, because they didn't do ballistics to say that this was the gun that committed these crimes. They're saying it was this type of gun. It was called a Ross rifle. It was like an army rifle, I believe, and it was this type of rifle that was used. The area that was searched by tons of men, tons of locals, and that very thoroughly searched this area. They didn't find it, and it was just laying on top of the grass. It wasn't buried. It wasn't hidden in any way. It was just laying on the grass. And this area was very heavily searched. So this is where the hypnotist guy came in and kind of led police to, oh, it's over here, whatever, and magically this gun is there. And they figured that it was this Vernon kid had done it. They kind of came up with some different theories, but the family said there were no problems. Like Vernon's 2 sisters said that like they weren't at home the day that happened, and his father, they all said there were no problems in the family. Like Vernon wouldn't have done this. So, but there's more things to the story. It's just a really weird story. And I feel bad for this kid because I believe him. What was that sound? What the heck was that? What was that? I hear music. Can you guys hear me upstairs? Is there music playing? Is there music? I hear music.
No, there's no music up here. And I've got the cam on Boo Bear and the music box.
Why do I hear it now?
Do you
Okay.
hear music?
All right. Well, I'm hearing music of all things.
Okay.
And it's really faint and quiet, but I can hear this music. I'm not alone down here. I feel I got 11 when I asked how many spirit were down here. It's very faint. Usually I use the geoport and they're loud and you can really hear what's being said. This is it's distant, they're in the distance. But I believe that spirit is very aware that I'm here and doing this. I'm going to try excuse me, sorry. I'm going to try the geoport again and see if we can. Okay, when I hear that bell, I almost feel like it's a yes. Like when I'm saying something and the bell goes off, it's like, yes, you should do that. I just want to see if I can connect with Fred. So I'm going to try this here. I'm going to try geoport upstairs. I'm going to try in other locations. I'm really hoping that Fred will be able to come through. And I'm just going to say this before I try this. We went to the homestead property where the Boer house was, and it's not easy to access anymore. So it was a big trek to get into where this original homestead was. Absolutely beautiful area up on a hill overlooking a valley, but it's not easy to access. So we're talking 4x4s and all of that, and then a big walk in from there. And it was interesting because we'd gone to all these different areas today that were connected to this or have some kind of connection to this story. And the weather was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. When we went to go out to where this homestead was and where these crimes were actually committed, we had thunder, like it was just roaring thunder. And that didn't stop me. I went trekking in. And I got into a zone. I got into this patch of trees and I was just being pulled here and there and you could barely get through. It was just very thick brush. It's not like I was on a trail or anything. And I feel like I was channeling Fred Boer when I was in there. I didn't at the time. I thought maybe it was Vernon because I couldn't breathe. It was like there was something wrong with my neck. And I'm beelining it. It's like I knew where I was going. Like I have to go here, I have to go here. And I was just in this zone. And I'm walking through these woods and nobody's with me. There were other people, but they were off doing their own thing. I just kind of took off. And I saw this rabbit. I see a rabbit, plain as day, in front of me, this white rabbit. And I paused. I just stopped and I thought, there's a white rabbit. And it wasn't afraid of me. Like it was just there. And I look at this white rabbit, and as I look at it, it just kind of dissolved into nothing and was gone. And white rabbits for me are a symbol of searching for answers and that sort of thing. So I thought that was a really interesting thing that happened. But I was in a zone. I'm just like, it's like I was being led to a certain spot, but it started pelting down with rain, and the thunder was just horrendous. And it was quite interesting, the timing of that, because of where I was and why we're here and what happened that day and all the sadness. Like the rain was pelting down like it hurt. We all kind of agreed that was like it hurt to get hit by these raindrops. Like they were just being forced down on you. And it wasn't hail. It wasn't like that. It was rain, but it was just, you were being pelted. And everybody took off on me because I was way off doing my own thing. They kind of yelled like, come on, but they were way far away from where I was. So I started coming back. They all left to get back to the vehicles because we weren't dressed for rain. We were in t-shirts and that sort of thing. And I got absolutely soaked. And so I made my way back. And what I thought was interesting was when I crossed the fence, there's like this barbed wire fence. When I crossed the fence and got into the other field that was not where the Boer house was, the rain, it just went to a trick, like there was nothing. There was I could take my hood off. I had a little light jacket thing on, and I wasn't wearing this, but I had a hood on, and I could take it off. The roaring thunder all stopped, and the clouds and the kind of the sun came out. So I just found all of that, the timing of the intensity of that, to be very interesting. And it was very interesting to experience. So I felt like, it was maybe Vernon, because I was in a panic. When I was in these woods, it was like I was in a panic, and I was trying to get to the house, but I couldn't find it. I couldn't get there. And so I'm going through these woods, and it's like I'm being directed, like go here, and I just look, and it's just, I'm making a beeline. And I got out into this, I want to say I was out of the woods and coming up to the crest of the hill that looked over the valley. And my family members, I heard somebody yell for me because they were way, way off. And it kind of brought me out of this zone I was in. So I was talking to Natalie about it, and I said, like, I feel like it was Vernon. I said, but I don't understand, because I was being pulled towards the house, not away from it. I said I couldn't breathe. Like there was something wrong with my neck for sure. And I've got this like, it's almost like pins and needles on this shoulder. And Natalie said, I don't think it was Vernon Boer. I think that you were connecting with Fred Boer. And you got to remember, we're being pelted with this heavy rain. We've got these dark clouds above us, and all this roaring. There wasn't lightning, it was thunder, and it was just booming, loud thunder. And she said, because Fred Boer, like Vernon ran to the neighbors to use the phone to call the police. Fred ran to heard the shot, ran to the house to see what had happened, and of course found his mother, and the person who had shot her had the struggle and was killed himself. And I didn't realize this, but Natalie, my daughter, told me that Fred was shot through the neck. And I'm thinking the neck was Vernon Boer, the younger brother, because he was executed by hanging. So Fred struggled, and he was actually shot twice, I think Natalie said, kind of once through the cheek, and it came out through his neck, and another time he was shot and it kind of came through his shoulder. And so he was shot in this shoulder, like where I was having the pins and needles thing going on. That was this shoulder, and it was his right shoulder. It was my right shoulder. It was his right shoulder. There was an issue with his neck because he was shot in this area, which, I mean, I did read that book that Mike lent me a year ago, but I've forgotten the details. I have not read it since, and I have so many things going on. It doesn't stick with me. I know the main things, like the names of the people that were killed and that sort of thing, but I forget the details. So Natalie was the one that kind of refreshed me to that. But because I was in such a panic in these, it was like I was having a panic attack trying to get to this house and get there. I think she's right, because Vernon was leaving. Like I think he just kind of stumbled across his family and took off. But Fred would have heard the shot, been close by, heard the shot, and ran to the house. So that's what I think. And I've been trying to get in touch with Fred. I've been trying to connect with him. I asked him who committed the murders a couple of weeks ago, and he showed me a very specific hat. Excuse me, a very specific hat. And it ended up being a soldier, a World War I kind of soldier hat. He showed me a sniper, which to me indicates somebody who had military training and knowledge of military tactics. We'll just say that sort of thing. And he didn't show me Vernon. He didn't show me Vernon. He was showing me someone else, and it was a very specific type of hat. And I had to research. I didn't know what kind. Like, I'm no expert on hats or men's hats, but the people, the spirit that have been connecting with me they've been men, and they've been identifying themselves by the style of their hat. I'm kind of able to say, okay, so this would have been a farmhand, and this would have been, somebody working with the law, and so the men have been connecting with me by showing me different styles of hats. And I find all of this very, very interesting. So we'll see where this week goes. We're doing a lot of different paranormal investigating in a lot of different locations. But Fred Boer is the one, like, I'll talk to any of them. I'll talk to the hypnotist if he wants to come through and talk to me. I'll talk to the police officers that were involved. I'll talk to any of them. But I really want to connect with Fred Boer over anyone else, because he saw who did it. And so that's who I'm hoping to connect with. So let's do a little more with the Geoport. See if we can get somebody to come through now. I did ask earlier if Fred Boer was here with me, and it was a male voice, very distinct, very clear male voice that said yes, but it was really faint. So let's see if we can get something a little stronger now, because I know I'm not alone down here. I know I'm not alone. You can feel it. Is there anyone here in the room with me? Can you speak to me through this device? Can you tell me your name? I would like to speak to any member of the Boer family who would like to speak with me. So I've got sensor balls. I know somebody's down here with me. Can you talk to me? I keep feeling somebody back here. Who's here in the basement with me? Who is here with me in the basement? Can you tell me your name? Oh, we've got more activity with the sensor balls. Can you tell me your name? I would like to, my name's Ashley. I am not here to cause any harm. I'm not looking to hurt anyone. I want to uncover the truth. I want to know who committed the murders on the Boer property on July 9th, 1928. I would really like to know who that is, or who it was, and I would like to clear Vernon Boer's name if he did not commit these crimes. Are there any members of the Boer family here with me right now? Can you speak through this? What about the farmhands? Oh, hello? I think it was Bill Rosak and Gabriel Gromley. Are either of you here today? Gabriel. Gabriel Gromley. Do you know who killed you? Did you see the person who shot you? Bill, do you know who did this? Is there anyone with me that knows anything about what happened on the Boer property on July 9th, 1928? Anyone at all?
Can you hear me, Deb?
There's something here. There's... Who's in here? Who's in here?
Can you make a noise for me?
Okay, well, we're not getting a lot of activity on the geoport down here. I think I'm going to move this investigation up, but we're going to leave the camera running so that we can check in on the flashlights and the REM pod and the different sensors like that. But
Can you tell me a secret?
I'm somewhere. Can you communicate with you? Light something up. There's things near you. Or you can speak right through this. I know you're here.
Can you touch my tummy?
Okay, I'm going to take this upstairs, guys. Okay. I'm going to blow out the candle because I don't want to. No. Never leave a candle unattended. Never leave a burning candle unattended, and I got a no on the bell. They want me to leave the candle burning. You want me to leave the candle burning
What?
down here?
Did
Is
you
it giving
say
you
something?
energy?
Can you please say it again?
You ring that bell once for yes, I'll leave it burning. Or light up the REM pod. You choose. All right. No? Okay, I'm getting some activity here, so. Do you want me to stay in the basement? Is that your way of saying you don't want me to go upstairs?
Do you have a favorite song?
Who is here with me? You want to communicate through that bell? Okay, I can hear that music box going. Okay. Do you want me to go upstairs? Once for yes, twice for no. Go sit by the bell? All right, I'll take this little pillow. There's the bell. Who's in here with me? Who is in here with me? I want to talk to one of the Boers. If you're one of the Boers, Is this Vernon Boer that was held in this building? Vernon, if that's you, can you ring the bell? If it's not Vernon, I've got a temperature gun down here if someone wants to come grab it from me. Whoop. Here, Connor. Oh, that was me. That was totally me. There's the temperature gun.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so it's cold upstairs. They've got activity upstairs. I'm down here. These will shut off in a minute, guys. I'm down here, and I've got somebody that wants to communicate through this thing. So, do I have one of the Boers down here with me? Ring the bell once for yes if you're wanting to communicate with me. We'll start there. Okay. Are you a member of the Boer family? Okay, so the sensor ball is going off. I can feel it. I can feel that I'm not alone. Are you a member of the Boer family? Can you ring the bell once for yes or twice for no? Are you a Boer? Or were you a Boer? We've got the sensor balls going off. Okay, so if you're not a Boer, I just heard footsteps behind me. I'm not alone down here. There is someone down here. Who is down here with me? Is this someone else who spent time in the prison? Is this someone who worked in the prison? Are you someone who worked here? Is this the Holt? Natalie, I've got the Holt. What was his first name? So you worked here when Vernon Boer was held in this jail. Is that correct? You worked here in the jail when Vernon Boer was held here as a prisoner in 1928, in the summer of 1928. Somebody's talking. I can hear whispering. Okay, that's fine. Do you want to spell your name for me? Can you ring this bell and spell your name? Will you do that? Can you ring the bell to let me know that you will? Okay, all right. I'm going to go through the alphabet and we'll get your first name, okay? Stop me when I get to the letter. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Is that right, Nat? Okay. I think I might have somebody messing with me down here. Okay, we're going to try this again. You're going to spell your name for me. Stop me when I get to the first letter of your name. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. I don't think I've got this guy here, Nat. I think somebody's just messing with me down here. Okay, I'm going to come up. I'm going to do the upstairs, some stuff upstairs. I'm gonna put this candle out because I'm not gonna be down here. Okay, I'm gonna scooch through.
Before you go up there, I'm gonna turn on, or I mean, come out, but I'm gonna turn on that bear's mic too.
Is this still? No, it's hanging. I gotta take these socks off because I stepped in bean juice.
What?
Bean juice. Oh, you can still hear me. Oh, great. I stepped in bean. Well, I opened the can of beans and some spilt on the floor, and I stepped in it. I need to do laundry
So
and clean up the basement.
You know your alphabet? A, B,
those lights on
C,
the ground,
D.
Yeah.
they've gone off a couple times, and we
Oh.
just missed it. And he's been talking nonstop.
Well, the bear does. He'll go every
Oh,
30
okay.
seconds. It depends what he says,
Oh,
not if he talks.
another weird thing that we can't explain. So there was a knife light or something right here.
Yeah.
We walked by it, it went off. But then Natalie unplugged it because she thought it might get annoying.
Yeah.
It was off, and then it just came on all by itself, and it hasn't shut off.
Can you finish this?
And there's no, like, it,
Okay. I don't know.
and I just heard that. Did you hear that?
That's the bear. That's normal.
And then
So can we shut this light off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can shut that light off, but go sit at that table by the door.
this one has been going off too, just so you know.
Okay.
How do you turn this light off there?
Can you make a noise for me?
You're good, eh? No, well, you're good too?
I'm good. Yep, I think. I'll let you know if I need Chris's help here.
Can you tell me a secret?
Oh, I can hear that better than I could hear downstairs. I'm actually going to move this. Hello?
touch
Hello?
my tummy?
Who's here with me right now? I'm hearing a number of voices. Is there anyone here?
Did you say something? Can you
Is there anyone here who is a boer? One of the boers? Can you tell me your name?
Do you have a favorite song?
Lisa. Thank you. I'm hoping to connect with Fred Boer. Fred, are you there? You need something?
Do you have any brothers or sisters?
What's wrong? Oh. Okay. I'm hoping to connect with Fred Boer. Well, do you want to come say hi, Chris, since you came on camera? No? That was my husband, Chris. I'm really hoping to connect.
You can play with?
I'm hoping to connect with the Boers. Is Vernon Boer here? You were held in this jail in 1928. I don't believe that you should have been held in this jail. Vernon, are you here?
Do you know what time it is?
Are any of the Boers here? Is there anyone here who would have knowledge of what happened on July 9th, 1928 on Fred Boer's land? Can you come through?
Do you like to play pretend?
Passport? Who committed the murders on the Boer farm in 1928?
Wanna be my friend?
Who is here with me right now? You want to come on? Come. Oh. Well, they're not communicating with me. It's like I came up here and I've got.
There's been so much up here while you're shooting this whole time.
So you want to
But also that bell is still
going.
dinging.
But it didn't spell the right. I don't know what the first name would have been. So
Yeah, I told you to do it again because it was one off, and
I was gonna, and I thought
that.
I thought, oh, it's got to be close, and maybe it's the wrong thing. But then I went through. But I said I think somebody might be messing with me, and it didn't respond after that.
Yeah,
So maybe it's
maybe.
that, right? But I thought the same thing. I thought, oh well, it's got to be close, right?
It sounds like somebody's talking.
I know somebody is talking. Who is here with us right now? Do you want to ask some questions?
Can we go put this downstairs and then maybe?
Okay.
There's been a lot of footsteps behind us.
I was gonna say I'm hearing footsteps. I had whispering. I had a man. Creepy.
It sounds like music.
Well, it's probably you. Does anybody know who committed the murders on the Boer farm in 1928? Yes. Who committed the murders? Who killed Fred and Eunice Boer? Who killed Fred and Eunice Boer? What time is it? Where are we at for time? Okay. Okay. I'm going to try because I can hear there's someone here. Okay. If you don't want to communicate through this, you can turn on flashlights, you can make this music box go off, you can touch the bear. You can light up these lights here on the floor. Come and touch the lights. Does anyone know who committed the murders on Fred Boer's land in 1928? It wasn't Vernon, was it? Is there anyone who has any knowledge of what happened on the Boer? Is there anyone here who has any knowledge at all about what happened on the Boer land in 1928? Boer's land. Clear as bell. Boer's land. That was a female. Can you tell me your name? Who is here with me? Who is the female that said Boer's land? How did you know the Boers? How do you know them? Or did you know them? There's something going on with my body right now. It's like, it's here, it's on this right side, and it's down this arm. What's that? Yeah, it's like, almost like I've lost this arm. I guess you would. It's like my whole, like this whole side just wants to crumple. So I had a female come through very clearly Boer's land.
I came upstairs when that happened. I went downstairs and I was trying to decide where to put the mic. Mm-hmm. So freaking bell went off right beside me, scared me. I screamed, and he got it. Connor got me. So yeah. Hey.
Hey. Is there anyone here with us that knows anything about what happened on the Boer land in 1928? I'd love... Mom. Is that what it said? I heard Mom. Yeah. Mom.
And that would have been Dorothy.
I was going to say, is that Dorothy or Algertha? Constable. I heard that, Constable. Vernon? Did that say Vernon?
I heard Virgin, but you're probably
Oh,
right.
okay. Well, I don't know. We'd have to play it back. What can you tell us about the murders that happened on... Person? What can you tell us about the murders that happened on the Boer property in 1928? Who did it? Bad streak? Wait. Does anyone know anything about the Hungarians that were in town at the time? Bad. Prison. Oh! Ow! Ow!
Are you okay?
Oh my God! Oh!
Hey, hey,
Oh! I've lost my whole arm.
hey, you're okay. You're okay.
Oh!
You're okay. Muscle spasm.
I'm okay. It really caught me off guard. I think it was the Hungarians. Bad prison.
And we're in the prison.
Okay, I got
He's talking about something going on.
Yeah, I see it.
You okay?
Hungarians.
Are you okay?
You go, if you need to go, go. It's almost like I've lost this side of, it's like I've lost this side of me. Blood. Blood. The Hungarians did this, didn't they?
Go see what Connor said. It's lighting up. Hungarian.
Hungarian? Did the Hungarians commit these murders?
Don't sit too close because you'll crackle the mic.
Okay. I'm trying to hear it. Did the Hungarians commit these murders? So do I tell them about the hat? Do I tell them, like I told them about the hat, but I didn't say that it was the Hungarians' hat, do I?
Oh, you're saying it into your mic right now, so.
Okay. Oh yeah, they can hear me.
Mom.
Mom. Hi. That was a creepy hi. That was a creepy man saying hi. Hi. I think we're right. So, I mentioned earlier, guys, Warden. I mentioned earlier that when I asked Fred Boer who committed the murders, he showed me a hat. And I'd never seen this hat before. It was a very specific, Vernon! Oh, my heart's gonna break here.
And this is where they thought
Yeah.
he could have been.
This is, yeah, what we've learned recently is that where we're sitting right now is where they figured the actual jail cells were. And that Vernon would have been held here. So I asked Fred Boer who committed the murders, who killed him and his mother, because he looked that person in the eye. And he showed me a hat that I'm going to get you to model here. So turn around. He showed me a hat that had no brim on the front. It looked like almost like a cone. It looked like a cone that was, it didn't go to a point, it was cut off and came back on an angle that kind of sloped backwards. So it was like a round cone shape that came up and then angled back. And I looked up these hats because I'd never seen a hat like this. And when I researched it, what I ended up finding was that this style of hat was a World War I Hungarian field soldier hat. Now, the day before the murders happened, there were two Hungarians that came onto the property, onto Fred Boer's land, and they were hassling one of his farmhands, and Fred had to run them off of the land. And so Fred Boer had a run-in with these Hungarians. And that's what he showed me, was this hat. When I asked him who committed the murders, it wasn't Vernon. He showed me this hat, which I later learned, I know nothing about World War I hats or different parts of the world and what style of hat they would have worn back then. And it was an army-type rifle. This rifle that was committed these murders was an army-type rifle. And so I've been talking to Natalie about this for a week or two, about the Hungarians, that I feel the Hungarians actually had something to do with this. And what's really sad is that Vernon, who went to jail and was convicted and hung for these crimes, he told the authorities about these two Hungarians that were run off the property the day before by his brother. And this is who Fred had told me before I came here on this trip. This is who Fred is identifying. He was identifying them as wearing a Hungarian soldier's field hat, and he was showing me sniper. So these people were shot up close. It wasn't sniper activity, but to me, sniper indicates someone who's watching from a distance. And so that's what I think happened. I think, and I thought that before I came here, I'm just trying to confirm it, that I think Vernon was falsely incriminated for these crimes. And Fred is trying to say that it was the Hungarians that did this. Is Fred Boer here? Fred, are you here? Can you talk to me? Fred? Is Fred Boer here? I got a yes. Did the Hungarians commit the two Hungarians in 1928 in Manville? Did the two Hungarians commit the murders on Fred Boer's land? Police. Why did the Hungarians commit these crimes? If the Hungarians did it, why? Were they hired? Murder. Oh, my shoulder. Can anyone tell me why these murders happened on the Boer land? What was the motive? What was the motive? Trigger? Sex? Did the murders have any tie to Noah or Andrew? Andrew? Boer? Did the crimes, the Boer murders that happened on the farmland have anything to do with Noah or Andrew Boer? You can. I asked for the motive.
Coming up on time.
What's that?
Coming up on time.
Oh, we're just about done. So, sex. And I got an. I think I'd have to play it back to be sure, but I said it Nora or Andrew, and before I even got it finished. Andrew. Did this happen because of, no? Vernon, are you okay where you are now? I feel so bad for this kid. Nutty. Well, we appreciate you coming through and talking to us, the people who did. We're wishing the Boers and everyone else well. We're going to try and connect in other locations. Actually, we're going to keep investigating tonight. But I think we're going to end the live. Is that okay? All right. We're going to end the live. Thank you to everybody who tuned in to watch. I hope that we didn't bore you. I've got to go clean up the basement where I dropped some bean juice. Got a little bit of cleaning to do. What's that?
Do you hear?
I got to go clean up my mess. Yes. How female comes through? Yes. Dorothy. My heart hurts over this family story. Dorothy, are you here with us?
She was the first one to see her mom.
Does she know? Is that what it said? What did you hear? Dorothy Boer, are you here? Did I I hear that right? In the woods. I keep getting this, like, Dorothy Brewer, are you here with us right now?
Can't make it out.
We'll do this. We'll end the live, and then you and I'll sit here and we'll maybe light some candles.
Yeah,
and
I can't make it out, but there's somebody definitely trying to say something.
it's,
Something just happened downstairs.
do you want to go see what it was?
For myself?
Yeah. Brewer
Lights?
and lights
And
here.
that can't happen because of me?
No, I know we can't
wait.
set these off, guys. Like, this isn't us.
No, I'm asking because like.
No, it's not you.
Flashed over there.
This is it has to have EMF to make it go off.
I heard
3. I can't hear what he's saying. Dorothy Brewer, are you here? We'd love to speak with you, Dorothy, if you'd like to speak with us. We would like to clear Vernon's name if we can. All right, guys. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up. I think we're going to wrap it up. We've obviously had some activity here at the old jail in Manville, Alberta. And it's been interesting. And we're not done. We're done with the live, but now we're going to get down and serious and doing our own work here tonight. And it went better than I thought. We actually had quite a bit of activity. And I appreciate everybody who tuned in and came along for the ride. And I hope you guys left some comments and that, because I haven't been watching any of that, so I'll have to see it later. But I hope you were interacting with the command center there, and I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment. Subscribe to our channel and like the post if you enjoyed the live, because that's how you'll get us to do more. And thank you to my husband Chris for helping with setting stuff up, and for Willoughby Productions with Natalie Mariah and Connor Chesson for setting up all the cameras and doing the command center, and all of us working together. We couldn't have done this. We had to do it as a team. It just wouldn't have been doable. But I wanted to thank everybody out there who was a part of this, and we're going to continue. I think we've got some stuff going on here, so we're going to get back. We're going to have a little break, and then we're going to get back. We're going to get back at what we're doing and see where this goes. And then we're off to other locations, and we're just continuing this story. And of course, Natalie will be editing and going through all the footage and everything, and putting together a documentary. So thank you for joining us. I think we're going to shut it down and call it a night. And take care. Take care. Be safe. Bye.